If you own Nvidia stock or TSMC stock, today's episode is going to be mainly for you. We're going to take a closer look at some recent updates impacting TSMC and more specifically also impacting Nvidia. Now, too long don't watch if you have other things to do. The first topic we're going to take a closer look at is there was an earthquake in Taiwan, which is creating some form of, which could create some form of impact in TSMC's manufacturing plants. Overall, nothing too crazy at the moment, but things can change from here on out. So something to keep an eye out. The second thing is there were reports that Nvidia was gonna cancel some of their COWOS advanced packaging orders, and TSMC was gonna lose out on orders like that. This is more rumors, and I would say don't pay attention to these rumors. We're gonna take a closer look at what's really happening, but too long don't watch. In my opinion, anything here that we're gonna discuss today could create maybe some short-term price volatility. In the long term, as an investor of either Nvidia or TSMC, these two topics shouldn't be something that affects long-term investors. But let's take a closer look in today's episode. If you want to hear my overall thoughts, make sure to hit the thumbs up, make sure to hit the subscribe button, check out the pinned comment for special offer at fool.com/Jose, and check out my free daily semiconductor newsletter, whatthechipHappened.com. Today's email was probably one of my favorites in a while, so the link is down below.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video, and check out fool.com/Jose for the 10 best stocks to buy now. With that link, you get a promotional offer for the subscription service. Now, let's continue with today's episode.
All right, so the first thing is tomorrow, depending when you're watching it, is going to be the first trading day with President Trump again. So a lot are expecting a nice bullish trend in the overall tech market. What I'm more kind of curious about is we do know that in these first few days, we're going to see the Trump administration and Trump himself make some form of executive orders. We're kind of seeing them already come out. I'm going to be curious to see if he does anything that could impact the semiconductor market, especially as just a few days before Biden leaving, we kind of got that AI diffusion rule. So I'm going to see if we get any changes to that right away, because I believe if that is something that's going to get canceled, it's going to get canceled within the next few days. If it doesn't, then it is something that I believe we're going to have something that's going to stay in the market for a while. So that's going to be the first thing I am going to be super curious about. Now, kind of talking about the main topics I discussed in the intro earlier today, unfortunately, Taiwan was hit with an earthquake. Now, obviously this channel is more focused about the investment community, but obviously I hope the country is doing well. I hope people are safe and everything's going okay. In the investing world, it does seem like Taiwan's manufacturing plants have shut down at the moment, and usually this is the case, right? This is not the first earthquake that we've heard happen in Taiwan. I believe we've seen a few in this past in these past 12 months. We've seen some, so we kind of already know how this kind of goes. What ends up happening is usually for safety of personnel, Taiwan usually evacuates the factories and then sends engineers to make sure that the equipment is all working properly. And that can sometimes take a few hours to maybe sometimes a few days, depending on how bad things are. Most of the time, things like this are things that might create a lot of negativity in the short term. You might start to see Twitter posts, oh, this is going to hurt the supply chain for the AI chip market. Oh, you better be careful for your Nvidia stocks. I just want to be the other voice that says, hey, look, this is going to, if it does create anything, it will most likely be short-term noise. As a long-term investor, this is not something I would be worried about. Based on the reports that I'm reading right now, it seems like there's not going to be any major changes to the supply chain line. There weren't any major equipments destroyed, but we'll probably hear more from TSMC in the upcoming hours, as they usually do kind of report or share some information about the earthquake and their equipment. But overall, right now, I'm not expecting it, and I just want to say be careful if there's any bear or doomsayers coming out in some of the social platforms that you might be in. Now, the second thing I wanted to talk about is there are reports that TSMC is building 2 more COWOS facilities debunking order cut rumors. So first, I want to talk a little bit more about the order cut rumors. So a few days ago, there was rumors that there were other players that were reducing their COWOS orders, and then we also saw reports that Nvidia was reducing their COWOS orders as well. And for those that are not familiar, these COWOS is a form of advanced packaging that is used to build AI chips. So the market was a little bit fearful. Hey, does this mean that Nvidia's demand might be slowing, that AI chip demand is slowing? During their most recent earnings, TSMC mentions that, hey, look, right now they are not seeing anything like that. They still can't even keep up with the overall demand. And that's why they're going to continue to invest in advanced packaging solutions and advanced packaging facilities. The other thing is we heard from Nvidia CEO. He was actually he's actually in Taiwan, I believe, at the moment, making some rounds with some Taiwanese executives. And there was a question that came out. Hey, Nvidia, are you reducing your orders of COWOS? And there's always some truth to the rumors and there's always some truth to the reports, but it's never as simple as it seems. So right now, COWOS, there's three main types of COWOS. There's COWOS S, there's COWOS L, and I actually forget the third one. But COWOS S is the one that's mainly used on the Hopper architecture. Now, with the Blackwell architecture, you're actually using COWOS L. So there is truth that NVIDIA is actually reducing its orders on COWOS S as the Hopper architecture eventually will start to go down and focusing those capacity in COWOS L instead as the Blackwell platform ramps up, right? So there was some truth that these orders were slowing down, but at the end of the day, it's not like anything negative. It doesn't impact the chip demand or anything. It doesn't impact TSMC because just that orders are going from one segment to another. Both pretty much use the same technology. It's just pretty much the sizing that's different. So overall, there was some truth to the rumors, but it wasn't as negative as it seemed. It was more of just shifting in certain technologies because Hopper was using CoWoS S, where Blackwell is going to be using CoWoS L mainly. So nothing to be worried about. And this is why I believe it's crucial that before making any decisions based on rumors, it's important to understand the type of technology that's used in the manufacturing of certain chips and understanding how TSMC has talked about kind of the demand for advanced packaging in previous earnings calls. So overall, those were rumors, and we can see that TSMC and Nvidia are definitely not going to be losing out any orders in advanced packaging. And TSMC, we heard that they're going to increase their capital expenditure dramatically in 2025. Some of the money is going to be spent on advanced packaging, which is the major bottleneck for AI chips. So right now, based on TSMC's earnings that just came out about a week ago, it is easy to see how 2025 is going to be another growth year for NVIDIA revenue. So right now, I really wouldn't be too worried or have too many bearish cases for this year for NVIDIA. If you have any doubts, I definitely would recommend taking a closer look at my previous TSMC's video where I discuss what they mentioned about the AI demand, about advanced packaging, about where they see this growth happening in the future. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good day, and see you all next time.